Good evening. Thanks for attending tonight's activity meeting. It's kind of crazy we're at this point. Activities are just around the corner, but I appreciate you taking time out of your personal lives to be here. I have about 75 slides. I'm going to try and get done in about 90 minutes, so I'll go as fast as I can. I know, I was working on that joke all day. No, I'm going to start a timer. I'm going to try and get out of here in 30 minutes, okay? So I'll do my best. All right. So what we're going to cover here is you're going to meet your coaches that are in attendance today. We're going to talk about our philosophy for our activities. We're going to go over 5 key points for a positive experience. We're going to get into some high school league items, a handbook policy, you know, the fun stuff there, and where to find more information. And then there'll be some breakout sessions following our meeting. My name is Chris Anderson. I'm very fortunate to be here as an activities director, dean of students, phy ed teacher. A little bit about me, you know, my wife, Christina, does a lot for us as a family. She's kind of the key of everything, holds us down. But we have Kendall. She's 6 years old. She's going to be in kindergarten this year. She's very excited. We have Charlie, who is just crazy, chaotic. She's 3 years old. And then we have a new addition, 4-month-old Allie. So we are very busy behind the scenes, but we're very fortunate that our kids get to grow up in this community because many of you help us out, and we are so grateful for that. If you need to get a hold of me, my email is there, and then school line is there as well. Annette Fisher, she does so many things for myself and for Laura, but this is her 4th year at BBE working within our school. She's an assistant activities director, or assistant to myself, and then also dean of student side for me, and then with Miss Spanier, Laura, she's a secretary there as well. So she does so many things for us behind the scenes. As you can see, she's got a great family. Bennett is going to be an 8th grader. Brooklyn is going to be a sophomore in college. And Blaine is out of college, but I'm sure you know about her family. And Boyd is, he does a lot of things, a lot of great things as well. So thank you so much, Annette, for putting up with myself. This year we have a new healthcare system. So we're not through Heartland anymore. We are with Glacial Ridge Healthcare, and I believe we have Evan's here tonight. Evan, okay, and is Stephanie here? Stephanie, do you guys mind just coming up here? Oh, and then we also have Greg. All right, so come on up.
Good evening, everybody. We appreciate the opportunity to be able to provide sports medicine coverage to BBE. I'd like to introduce you to Stephanie Whitman. She's our brand new athletic trainer. She comes to us with many years of experience at the collegiate level. And Evan, one of my very finest physical therapists. Together, we've all provided sports coverage in different venues, and we do provide coverage to Minnewaska as well. But we look forward to providing some regular practice coverage as well as event coverage for you guys. So if you have any questions for us, you can direct them through Chris, but we look forward to being a part of your success this year.
Thank you. Okay, coaches that are here today, do you mind just popping up on the stage? You don't have to jump on the stage. Ben, I don't want you to do that. But just, you can walk or wheel up to the stage, introduce yourself, what activity you coach or direct, and what level. You want to start, Lori?
Sure. Lori Flora, it'd be my first year doing assistant speech.
So I'm Chris Lamont, and I'll be the theater director this year. And can I go on my soapbox just for 1 minute? I was in, and I was one of the leads for this year. And I was also, what's it called? An all-conference softball player that year too. So you can do both. And all these coaches up here, they want well-rounded students. You don't just be pigeonholed into one area. You can do everything. And right coaches will work together to make sure you're not going to ride the bench if you want to do theater and other things. You're not going to lose playing time. We'll work together. Was that under a minute?
I'm Josie Jensen, and I'm the JV volleyball coach. This is my second year.
Hi, I'm Brittany Bording. I'm the head volleyball coach and the C Squad girls basketball coach.
I'm Branson Jones. I'm the C Squad volleyball coach.
Christine Betts, tennis coach.
Sarah Schrantz, tennis and track coach.
Jenna Dingman, junior high volleyball and JV basketball.
Olivia Haynes, junior high volleyball as well.
Logan Funk, head softball coach and junior high football.
Matt Goodwin, head girls and boys golf and assistant at boys basketball.
Jason Langer, football and baseball. Alex Schumann, assistant football coach.
Katie Boyd, and dance coach.
Morgan Schwinghammer, assistant dance coach.
Christina Anderson, girls basketball.
Ben Klopaki, head baseball coach and assistant football coach.
Kiera Quay, junior high softball.
Boyce Fisher, assistant softball coach.
Thayer Primus, JV softball.
And we got Coach Rambo. There he is. All right. Hey, can you just give him a little round of applause? There's so much great things. Chance to go back. Thank you very much. So a little bit about our philosophy here. You know, like kind of what Briston was saying, that through activities, our goal is to develop better habits and attitudes in students to help them shape them into young, positive adults. That's what it's all about. There's so many life lessons that can be gained through activities and sports, goal setting, time management, handling adversity, handling failure, because it happens. So what do we do after that? So these are all life skills that these kids, they grow and they learn from and they take with them to their next step or phase in life. I had to put this one in, not because I don't believe it, because, Mrs. Span here, this is for you. We are students first. We are students first. We're athletes second, okay? Sometimes it's easy to get that flipped around, but just remember your academics are number one. So my goal is just to make sure that we keep our athletics and activities as enjoyable and positive of an experience where all are welcome. I strongly believe that everybody in this school, every student in this school should find an activity to be a part of. Every student should find something to try, and maybe they stick with, and maybe they try something that they've never done before and they really enjoy, or it gives them an opportunity to meet new other kids, or be coached by somebody different. So I hope that all students try something. These next 5 keys for a positive experience, I cannot take credit for these. These were from Greg Berg, who is a great high school coach, current coach, and he's also the high school principal at Lake City. Okay, he says that if we as coaches and parents and players can work together on the following items, we will be laying the groundwork and foundation for a positive experience. So the first one is team culture. We all play an important role in developing culture. Players, coaches, students, community members, and parents. We all create that culture here at BBE. Make sure we cheer for all players. And then sometimes that's hard, cheering for everybody, and not just your son or daughter. Bring the positive energy. That's players, that's coaches, that's parents, that's fans. Bring that positive energy and minimize the negative energy. As you know, maybe you don't know, but some of you probably know, you see, that it's very hard to find coaches, it's very hard to find officials, so we need to make sure that we treat everybody with respect. Make sure your child, this is probably my favorite one, number 2 here, make sure your child knows the following, that your relationship is not based on playing time. Your relationship's not based on their performance. You should love and support them, and this last one really hits home to me. The car ride home should be a safe spot. I think back and reflect on a long time ago, like 20, 25, 30 years ago, when I was some of these students' age, and I would get in that car after a game, the door would close, we're driving home, and my dad would be sitting next to me driving, and my dad is my best friend. He's he's very knowledgeable in the activities I've done. Great coach, great person, supportive, but it would always be those tough conversations. Why did you shoot that shot? Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? And I can tell you that your child knows those things as they're driving home, but as a parent I understand it's really hard not to say those things. So my challenge to you is to allow that child to open that door. Allow them to open that avenue. Like, I'm really struggling with my bunt, or I'm really struggling with my ground balls. And then you go from there. Okay, so that's my challenge. I found this next little picture here, and I just had to share it. It says, they, meaning students, they don't need you to be their coach, their critic, or their recruiter. They need you to be their call. And I really like that. I just wanted to share that with you. So the experience, number 3. Always remember, it's your child's experience, it's not yours. The process is the prize. Okay? When kids think back, and maybe some of you adults, or even students, when you think back those moments, you're probably not going to remember the score of Eden Valley when we played them in softball, or when we golfed against Kimball. Okay, you are going to remember those bus rides. You're going to remember those team meals. You're going to remember the locker rooms. You're going to remember your teammates, your coaches, those conversations. Those are the things that you remember, and those are the things that carry with you, and they make you who you are. And when you see your teammates 10, 15, 20 years later, you're not going to talk about that one possession. You're going to talk about these moments, those moments you created on the bus, for example. I'm not going to go through all 10 of these phrases that kids need to hear, but just a couple that I really like. Love your teammates, number 5. Love your teammates, okay? Meaning, share that experience with them. Maybe that's a tough thing to do sometimes, but give them a high five. Tell them to continue. Tell them good luck. And then also, number 9, lead by example. That's a hard thing. It's easy to be a follower. It's hard to be a leader. So try and lead by example. And sometimes that means, not going and doing what your friends do. Okay? Number 5, enjoy it. That's why you're here. You enjoy it. You enjoyed your experience. You want to continue with it. It goes so fast. School's just around the corner. Activities are going to start. But once we get moving, it's gonna be gone in a blink of an eye. And for any juniors in here, you're going to be celebrating, or seniors, you're going to be celebrating graduation, in May. So it goes so fast. Enjoy that experience. At events, so some expectations that we have, and this slide that you see, this image, this was created by high school students. Okay, it says lead by example. By being respectful. Follow all Minnesota State High School League school and venue expectations. Speak with honor and thoughtfulness. Use the power of social media for good. That's a tough one sometimes. Support those harmed by words or actions. Honor each contest and everyone involved. And hold yourself to a high standard of sportsmanship. And we have 2 posters, one at the high school, one at the elementary. They're hanging in the gyms. But I just wanted to share that with you, that it was created by students. We need to display good sportsmanship and be great examples for others. My dad used to tell me this all the time. But there's young eyes, there's young ears that are always watching and listening. Whether you're a parent, you're a coach, you're a player, someone's always watching, and you're probably their role model. They look up to you. The negativity towards officials, sometimes I fall in the same category. It's hard not to say things. It's hard not to get excited and emotional and show that emotion if things don't go your way, your team's way. But we need to try and pump those brakes, because it's really hard. We're running out of officials, to be quite honest. So, you know, they're humans, they make mistakes. Questioning of coaches, you know, that's a tough one. That's the student is caught in the middle there. So please be respectful of coaches. You're probably not going to always agree with what goes on. Okay? Remember, coaches coach, players play, officials officiate, and parents cheer. We all make mistakes. We're all humans. Okay? So communication goes a long way as well. Positively support and promote BBE activities, our coaches, and our student athletes as we go along. And I got to share that all the meetings that I go, not all, but many meetings I go to as an AD with conference ADs in the area, we do have a great fan support. And I'm very proud of you, and I think we travel very well, and I just want to give you props. I know it sounded negative when I was saying all those things, and don't do this, don't do that, but you do a great job, and I do value our fans and our students and our coaches. So just continue being the best we can. Some important items here through the high school league. This is brand new, and what this is called the 9th grade governance. So what that means is 9th graders are now governed through the high school league, where in previous years it was just grades 10 through 12. Okay? So now 9th graders fall into that high school league category, and here are some reasons why of importance. It's safe for parents and for athletes, meaning all 9th graders now are governed, or are covered under catastrophic medical accident insurance. Okay? So now all these 9th graders, no matter what level, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, or I should say C squad, JV, varsity, you're all governed, you're catastrophically insured. Okay? Eligibility. Your eligibility clock starts as a student in 9th grade for graduation. Those credits, you start earning credits. And if you transfer, so where you start, where your home school is, as a 9th grader, that's your home school. Okay? So it just cleans it up as well. Standards are already set out, meaning nearly all high schools, we always did this. Our 9th through 12th graders always had the same bylaws and rules, but now it's just set in stone across the board through the state. And nationwide, Minnesota was one of the last states to have 9th graders governed through the high school league. So now we are just like many other states in the U.S. here. Okay. Chemical eligibility. All right, this is bylaw 205. Students should not at any time, regardless of quantity, use, consume, or have in possession a beverage containing alcohol, tobacco, use or consume in possession, buy or sell, give away any other controlled substance or drug paraphernalia. Products containing or products used to deliver nicotine, including e-cigarettes and vapes, any substance or products where the intent of use or of such use is to induce intoxication. So that's bylaw chemical eligibility there. Some penalties, okay? So if you're caught, if you're going to use these behaviors, and if you're caught with these substances, there are high school league penalties. And penalties begin to accumulate 7th grade, starting in 7th grade, and they continue through that student's career until they graduate. Students must be in attendance, so if there is a high school league violation, you must be in attendance the first day of practice and finish the entire season for that violation, to fulfill that violation. Practices, scrimmages, and jamborees are not counted, and the student is eligible to participate. So meaning, if you have a scrimmage and you are sitting out due to a violation, you can participate in that scrimmage. It's just events. Little combination here of handbook, our handbook, and the high school leagues. So first violation is in that sport is 2 games or 2 contests, 2 weeks, or 14 calendar days, whichever is greater. And here at BBE, we say that students are not allowed to receive any team or conference awards for the current season or seasons, depending on when the violation occurs. If the violation carries into the next season, the same consequences carry over. Leadership tag will be removed or not allowed for the season. They are serving the penalty. Second violation, it just gets greater. So that is 6 consecutive interscholastic contests, or 3 weeks, 21 calendar days, whichever is greater. And then it says students, athletes are not allowed to receive any team or conference awards for a calendar year. Leadership table will be removed for, or not allowed for a calendar year. And the third, this is pretty severe. You have 12 consecutive contests, 4 weeks, or 28 days, whichever is greater. And it's the same one as BBE with awards and leadership. Okay. Transfer students, bylaw 111 basically says where you start your 9th grade year, that you're considered your home school. So if you transfer to another school, or if we receive a transfer, don't assume that you're not eligible. You are eligible. Make sure you talk with myself or Annette, and we will bring you through the eligibility process, or the transfer portal. Okay. Code of Responsibility is 206. It says here, I will respect the rights and beliefs of others. I will be responsible for my own actions and consequences of my actions. I will respect the rights and properties of others. I will show respect and obey the rules of my school and laws of my community, state, and country. I will respect those who are responsible for enforcing the rules of my school and laws of my community, state, and country. Okay? And it says for a penalty for a code of conduct is it's basically up to the principal to determine the length, severity of that violation, how long they're going to sit out for an event. Harassment, a violation, hazing. This is a pretty severe bylaw here through the high school league. Any person who believes he or she has been a victim of hazing, or any person with knowledge or belief of conduct which may constitute hazing, you should report those actions immediately to your school personnel. Okay, so say something. Let us know. Many times, what we don't know is, if we can't do anything if we don't know about it. So we need to know about it, and we will protect you as far as from if there's any side consequences from others' actions. From if you're going to go and let us know if others are still retaliating against that person. Okay. Handbook highlights. Good standing. Okay, to be eligible for regular season and league tournament competition, a student must be in good standing. Meaning, they should be eligible under all conditions of eligibility requirements of that school, as well as the eligibility requirements of the Minnesota State High School League. Code of Responsibility, I kind of touched on that. Attendance, this is an important one. Attendance. If you want to be eligible for practice or an event, you have to be in school by 11 o'clock. Okay, so 11 o'clock. Remember that 11 o'clock is that magic number, that time. A student who goes home ill will not be eligible for practice or an event. All right. You can always communicate. It's always a good way to communicate with myself or your coach, and we can go from there. But if you have any questions, but remember, 11 o'clock is that time. In a day, we're in this together. We're in this together, and there's going to be hiccups along the way. All right, there always is. But we have what is called a 24-hour policy. And that means if you don't agree with what happened in the event as a parent or a spectator, we ask that you not say anything to a coach for 24 hours or don't contact a coach. Just because we're pretty emotional at that time, parents, coaches, and we can say things that we regret. And I've been a part of those things, and it can be very ugly. And again, it puts the athlete or the person, the individual, your son or daughter in a tough spot. Okay, so please respect that 24-hour policy. If you do want to have a conference with a coach, please make sure that the student and athletes and parents are required to wait for an appropriate time and place before discussing concerns following a game or match. Playing time and coaching philosophy are non-negotiable topics. All right, I'm just going to say that again because I think that's really important. Playing time and coaching philosophy just won't be discussed. Those are coaches that they make those decisions, and we just got to respect that, whether we agree or not. We just agree to disagree. So please be smart about texting and contacting coaches. Chain of command, and I'm sure your coaches will talk about this. We ask that the player first set up a meeting with the coach. Why? I know it can be challenging, okay? But we ask that these athletes or students advocate for themselves. We want to create life lessons. So we ask that players communicate with coaches, and then from there we'll go to number 2 if we have to. A player and a parent and a coach schedule a meeting. Schedule that meeting out so we can all be prepared. We all know what's going on in advance. And then parent, player, coach, and AD have a meeting. Player, coach, AD, and a principal have a meeting. We just continue down the line if we have to. Okay? Academics. We do have academic checks. We do those things. We hold our student athletes to a high standard. Okay? As we go through. Plagiarism. We do deal with this, unfortunately. And in today's world, it's getting easy to plagiarize. You just type in Chat GPT and you can get papers. And how do you think I got this presentation? You know what I mean? Okay. I'm just kidding. But you can type in. I'm kind of learning about Chat GPT myself. So it can be very useful in many ways. But in other ways, you can get in a lot of trouble too as a student, as an athlete. And I guess the end of the day is always just ask a question to your teacher or somebody, an adult, maybe your parent, if you can use this, if this is okay to use, or is it plagiarism? Academics are number one. Okay, so we need to take pride in our academics, just like we take pride on the court or the field or the golf course or whatever it is. Communicate with teachers, ask for help. There's nothing wrong with asking for help. I remember being back as a student, I always felt like it was really challenging to ask for help for me. I didn't want to look like I didn't know what I was doing. But teachers enjoy that. They enjoy conversing, they enjoy communicating, and it shows that you care about your academics and what's going on. And you can build that relationship with them. So ask for help. Develop good habits, and don't be like me with this presentation. Don't procrastinate. Okay, that was me as a kid, and I always wait my parents, my mom, and I always put pressure on mom to help me with, schoolwork, or we're coming back from the cabin on a Sunday evening, and I have to do a paper tonight, and then it's just panic mode. Okay, so don't procrastinate. Develop a good habit. Get that done far in advance. Where am I at? I'm at 27 minutes. Respect our facilities, locker rooms, gyms, classrooms, fields, uniforms, transportation. Rule of thumb, leave it better than what you showed up as. And that's on the road, that's here at school. Don't expect that the custodians are going to pick up after you. That's not their job. Okay? Pick up after yourself, put things away, lock them up. Things do disappear on the road and at school here, unfortunately. I know shoes, and you guys all want to have the nice gear and whatnot. Lock it up. Other sports, hey, be involved. Do as much as you can, right? But if you are in AAU, JO volleyball, or any other leagues, your in-season sport is your number one. Those other sports, you can be involved, but just communicate. Always communicate with your coaches of those AAU programs or whatever program you're involved. Communicate with your head coach and your parents. Don't surprise people. You can do this. You can play 2 activities at one time or sports at one time. It's very challenging. I'm going to say that. It's very challenging. Okay? You got to balance academics, and it's going to require more practice time and probably more time in your personal life. But again, this is all done through communication, and your coaches will sit down. Those 2 coaches will sit down with you, develop a plan of action, and we'll get a primary sport or activity and a secondary. But at the end of the day, everybody in this room, you all have value. You do. It's not about if you play the entire game, or if you start, or if you get in, or if you don't get in. If you're on that team, you have value, and I know you're coaching. I hope, and I know they tell you that. I just thinking back to the days when I coached. Some of my those kids that didn't get an opportunity to get their name in the box score, they were in practice every day. That is not my timer. That is. I tried to show those kids how important they were every day, because without those kids, our starting group they wouldn't be who they were. They wouldn't have anybody to go up against them in practice. So no matter what your role is on your team, you all have value. So August 11th, that's the important day if you're in a fall activity. Before August 11th, make sure you have the following done. You have signed off on the high school league brochure and BBE handbook. You have paid your activity fee. You have completed your physical, and you have an updated copy. Don't assume. If you are unsure, reach out. Okay? If you have any questions, you can contact myself. All right, again, online registration fee, physical deadline is August 11th. You should have all those things done before the start of practice. Every 3 years you need a new physical. So rule of thumb is 7th grade and 10th grade. That's what we try to stick by. Okay, shuttle buses. The shuttle buses will begin August 25th. That's the first day of school. There are cameras on all buses. Okay, so whether you're in an activity or you're just in a shuttle bus, there's cameras on the buses on non-school days. So we'll skip like Mondays or Saturdays if we have events. There's not a shuttle bus. There's not a shuttle bus. There will be transportation if we have an away game, but there's not a shuttle bus. Okay? School days, there's a shuttle bus that will take you from the high school to the elementary if you have practice there, but the pickup times are 5:30 at the elementary, 5:45 it drops off at the high school, picks up, and then for a 6 o'clock drop off in El Rosa if needed, and then it returns to Bruton at 6:15. Okay? And please, please, please show respect to the bus drivers. That means picking everything up, have good language. Don't be running around and doing things like that. We are at a shortage of bus drivers. They do a great job. They take time out of their day, their evenings to watch you, and they want to be a part of your lives. So please, be kind to them. If you want to find more information out, just contact Annette, okay? No, that was a joke. Okay. You can go to our activity page. This has forms, fees, physicals. Again, get those completed, signed off. You can go to our conference page is pretty nice. If you've never been there, I suggest going there. It looks really clean. It looks nice. And this app, everybody in this room and anyone that follows our activities, like your parents or your grandparents or aunts and uncles, you should download this activity app. Why? Because it updates automatically. So any change of event due to weather or cancellation or start times, bus times, this is the place you should check out, okay? Because everything stays up to date. If we make any changes, it automatically syncs into this app. The hard thing I made this mistake is when you have that app, drag down, because then it will upload automatically. It will upload the changes. Otherwise, it doesn't do that. Right? Am I right with that? Important dates. Okay, tennis, 7th through 12th, August 11th. They play at the high school or practice at the high school. Volleyball's at the elementary. Football is at the high school. 7th and 8th grade volleyball starts August 25th at the high school. And 7th and 8th grade football starts August 25th at the high school. Okay? I'm breaking, I'm at 32. We have breakout sessions. Football is going to stay here in the auditorium. Volleyball is going to go to the main gym. Tennis is going to be in the cafeteria. Fall musical is going to be in the board. Cross country, you can meet with myself in the weight room. And any activity registration questions, please see Annette. If you have any questions tonight, immediately, you can see Annette in the main office following our meeting. Hold on, this is an important one. If you're that fan that's always trying to ride the referees in the crowd, all right, I need you. I need you. I need refs. I need umps, okay? And if you need help on what to do, or see me and I will get you, I'll help you get trained in. But we need help, okay? So please reach out to myself if you are, wanting to do that. I really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Let's have a great year together. Any questions, reach out. Have a great night. Yeah, go seconds.
Free streaming.
Oh, yes. We have free streaming this year. Okay, so it's not paid anymore. It's through Huddle. Free streaming for activities. Anything else, Josie, on that?
Just thank the school board for their support, and the color run is where it's coming from.
That's for the funds. Thank you so much. All right.